regret and shame are two of the hardest emotions for a human to live with. In fact, shame leads oftentimes to addiction behaviors. Folks, I'm Tom Sarge, your favorite YouTube therapist. I'm a trauma therapist. I've been working in the field for 28 years now. And today I want to talk a little bit with you about regret and shame and how do we turn that into something useful in therapy, okay? So at one point in my career, I was working with prison release guys, and these were gentlemen who had done some bad things, to be perfectly frank. And some of them get out of prison and, they have antisocial traits and they're just trying to think about how can I game the system so I can't get back in. But a lot of my patients expressed regret and shame and genuinely wanted to do better with their lives. They genuinely wanted to change the person who they were, okay? And when we look at regret and shame, it's important to note that everybody in their life has done something that you regret, right? Like if you start to think about things in your life that you wish you could go back and change, you can really pull yourself down this rabbit hole and start to feel those emotions, even if you've genuinely been a good person most of your life. Everybody knows what this feels like, right? And the truth is we can't change our past. We can't change our past. The only thing we can do with the past, including things that we've done that we regret that we've done, is to look at it in a way where we have some reflection and say, I wish I hadn't done that. This was a bad thing. I regret it. If I could change it, I would, but I know that I can't change my past. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use this experience to help fuel me and motivate me to be the kind of person that I want to be, okay? That's the start of turning regret and shame into something much more powerful, which is change, right? To become the person that you want to be. And by the way, you're never going to get it perfect, and neither am I, because we're humans and we're flawed and we're going to make mistakes and we're occasionally going to do things that we will regret in future times. It's just part of the human experience. But you certainly can get better. You certainly can be better and work on things that you did in the past in a way that you never repeat some of those things ever again, right? So one of the exercises that I sometimes would do with my patients who are trapped in this cycle of shame, which I know as a therapist that if you stay in shame too long, your brain is going to want to rebalance, and it's going to eventually seek something that's going to give it feel good, right? A massive hit of dopamine or norepinephrine or GABA or endorphins or whatever. And those typically what's going to give you the fastest, most big hit of those feel good neurotransmitters is going to be something that's bad for you. And it's often going to be addictive. And so we don't want to have that. So we have to help our patients stop that cycle and change how they're thinking about their past, use it to motivate them to be better, right? So one of the exercises that I do is I often will ask my patients, who do you look to as a literary character or a character from television or a movie or a book, something can be fiction or real, that you really admire? And they may say, I really like Hermione Granger or Katniss or Strider from Lord of the Rings. People will typically pick someone who embodies good, right? And this is why works of fiction are so important, to give us models, right? Like even if it's sometimes unattainable, to give us models of what good looks like, right? So pick that character that you really like, and then you ask them, what are the traits of that character? And they may say, well, they're wise, they're patient, they always do the right thing, they're courageous in the face of evil. Those are wonderful traits, right? They always try to help other people, right? Those are wonderful traits. So then we say, okay, when every day, as part of your work on your inner self, as your inner thoughts, I want you to ask yourself, what would, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, Ron Weasley, what would these characters do? And what can I do to strive today to be a little bit more like that, right? And if we screw up, we say, okay, well, I screwed up. I did this horrible thing. I was mean to somebody, or I relapsed, or whatever. What would Hermione Granger say to me, right? Or what would, Gandalf say to me, right? To help me to get out of my shameful thoughts about myself and get back on the path of being the best person that I can be, being the best version of myself that I can be, okay? So again, if I was gonna end with one little message here to take away from this video, it's that shame itself is not really useful, right? It's a self-punishment that you inflict on yourself that becomes a prison that eventually you will try to escape from that prison and feel better in some way, right? In some way, then it's probably not gonna be good. To get out of that mode, you can use regret to help you, but only if you use it in a way where I reflect on that this was not the type of person I want to be. I can't change the past, but I'm going to work on being the version of myself that I think I can be and that I should be, okay? I hope this is helpful for you. Folks, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'm also on Instagram. Would love to have you join me over there. And take care of yourself, folks. Your mental health matters.